Yes, guys, it's game day. It's FA Cup third round day. And yes, me and Rain are here to give you the predicted lineup and the lineup that we think can go out today and put Villa to the sword. Yes, you can have your Peaky Blinders, but we've got a Richarlison. You can have your Birmingham Pies, but we've got an Odebear. You can have Villa can have the Emery, but we've got a Thomas Frank. And do you know what? We did every 3 years when we beat Villa in 21, 61, 62, and 82. What happened? Spurs went all the way to Wembley and lifted that famous old trophy 8 times. And I'm telling you what, 9 times this year, I'm confident we'll be doing a broadcast live from Wembley. We will be in the final. Rain, how are you, bud? Are you looking forward to the game later? Do you think Tottenham could go all the way to Wembley?
I really, really wish we would. It's been far too long, Dermot, since we lifted that cup. In fact, I've touched the FA Cup more recently than a Spurs captain has touched the FA Cup. Unfortunately, I do have to say it was actually at the Emirates where I was at an event and they had the FA Cup there, and I did sneak a little touch. You're not supposed to touch it, and wouldn't it just be great if these guys could go on a run?
It would,
and it would lift the whole club. It would just lift the whole club even more than the Europa League.
Yeah, it really would. And the FA Cup's so important to us. 8 times we won it, Rain. 1901, 21, 61, 62, 67, 81, 82, and 1991. We'll gloss over 87 because we just gloss over that. Of course, we are wearing the shirts that we wore in 1901 when we won it as a non-league side. So, guys, if you haven't already, this morning, 9 a.m. as this morning now, so only 1,901 of these shirts will be made available for fans to purchase online. I wonder if the Tottenham website has actually crashed this morning, Rain. I wonder if it's totally got internet blackout.
Don't know. Maybe MasterCard has crashed. God knows how much they're charging for them. I haven't gone and had a look. I'm not going to be going. I'm not going to be going and buying one, unfortunately, because I'm not. I can't spend the type of money that they're going to have for those. If I was going to buy one, I'd probably not take it out of the packaging, put it in a frame, and
keep it there.
Wait, yeah, keep it there, yeah.
Right, let's get into it, Rain. This is the team news. Because from Thomas Frank said Lucas Bergville is being assessed. He's out for the game. Bentancur has picked up a hamstring injury. Mohamed Kudus is out until at least the March international break. Kulu is still at least 3 to 4 weeks away from returning to grass. And Destiny Udogie and Dominic Solanke are progressing. Just very quickly on Bergville, Rain. He was holding his groin. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a groin injury. But we've lost Bergville, we've lost Bentancur, and now we've lost Kudus. Kulu's still out, and Destiny, they're progressing. If any time we need to buy players, this is the time.
Yeah, and look, you know that I've been very I've been very much supportive of Frank, and even more recently saying, it doesn't really matter, if we sack Frank. But it was quite clear to me, but something that I do have a problem with Frank is I think he's a very reactionary, in-game management type coach. And it was quite clear that Bergvall was struggling, and it was quite clear that he needed some kind of treatment. And I would have just hooked him straight away. And I think, leaving Bergvall out there, God knows if that's made the situation worse. Frank really needs to get on top of the minor details like that. We're walking wounded right now. It really is quite shocking, and I think some of these are probably optimistic So, Kudus, I would be very surprised if we see Kudus or Kulusevski this season. So I make you absolutely right. We need reinforcements desperately.
James Madison is out with the ACL. Kulu's out with his ACL. Solanke's out with his ankle. Bentancur out with his hamstring. Could be back. I think Thomas Frank said he could be out for about, what was it? 4 to 5 weeks, but I think he might be out for the season as well. Kuda's out with his thigh. Destiny is out with his hamstring. He's training but not match fit yet. And then there is a doubt over Bergville. This is now the starting 11, and it started with a Vicario in goal. We've got a back four, Jed Spence, Mickey van der Ven, who will be captain tomorrow because of the suspension to Romero, which come down today, Rain, very quickly. We'll get on to that in a minute. Danso, Poirot, we start with the midfield tree of Archie Gray, Palunia, and Xavi Simmons in the number 10 role. And then the front tree, Tell on the left, Odebear on the right, and Richie, the pigeon man, up front. Look, let's start with the back five, Rain. There is sort of a chance, isn't there, that he might be dropped because of Kinksky. We know now Romero is suspended. I will show you my other predicted lineup. The only change I made was Stanso was in for Van der Ven, but I've had to change it quickly. Vicario, would you put Kinksky in tomorrow?
Got no idea. We never see the guy. We've no idea. It wholly depends on the agreement and the relationship that Frank has with Kinksky. I think Kinksky is a classic example of a sort of a bonkers Tottenham Hotspur signing. We've signed this really promising young goalkeeper and completely stunted any sort of in-game, game-by-game development that he has by never playing him. It's crazy, really, to me that we bought Kinksky and that now he never gets game time. No. It's so you'd think that he has to get a game. Is Aston Villa, who are flying, the right game to play him in? I don't know, Dermot.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really tough call. If I was Frank, I would be playing Vicario. I wouldn't be taking a risk on Kinksky.
I think just very quickly, it also says that we should have gone for Kelleher in the summer, because I think Kelleher would have been a better number 2. He would have pushed Vicario all the way, and I think that would have made Vicario stay in his toes a bit more. Do you know what I mean? It would have been oh shit, if I don't play well, there's a capable keeper coming in. I think with Kinksky not being as good as we hoped he would be, I think it's made Vicario relax a little bit. And I think maybe that was a mistake. You did say to me about Jed Spence, and I do agree with you. Maybe I should have put Ben Davies in that left back position. But is there a shout for Dragson to get a start tomorrow? One of the centre backs?
I would be starting Van der Ven and Danso. So I think there's a shout for Dragusin to be a fullback, to be providing us some support in defence at fullback. I know he's not a fullback, but needs must. Play. Yes, I'm done with Spencer left back. I think
I agree.
The evidence. I do think that. I do think there's a greater than 60% chance that Frank will play Spencer left back. I'll just be clear. So if this is a prediction as to what Frank is going to do, I reckon this is probably spot on.
Yeah.
Personally, if I was Frank, I wouldn't be starting Spence at left back unless I was absolutely necessary. And it's just shocking, really. Davies had such a good game against Sunderland.
He did. And scored.
Scored.
which shut a lot of people up, by the way. um, but yeah, look, we have to see. Look, the midfield three. I'm not going to talk about Porro because I'm sick of talking about Porro, and the less I talk about that idiot, the better. I just he has to play, but as far as I'm concerned, if we were to sell him tomorrow with a credible replacement for him, I'd be quite happy to see the back of Porro. And what got me as well tomorrow night that on after Bournemouth was I understand Mickey Van der Ven doing it, right? Because he's frustrated, but he was our best player the other night. Porro had to be restrained from getting into the crowd at one point. I mean, let's talk about that idiot, the better. Now, midfield three, Archie Gray, Palunia, Simmons. Now, I struggled with this, Rain. I was thinking, do I play with Palunia as a 6 and then play Gray as an 8 and Simmons as a 10? But I went with the double pivot. Would you have changed the midfield three, do it that way, 6, 8, and 10? Or do you think you would have gone for the double pivot as well?
I've got to say, I mean, I still like I like what you've just said. I like it was the Pochettino
Yeah.
style, wasn't it? It was
Mm.
a strong. It was almost like a line of three midfielders, and obviously it never worked out as a line. You know, it was always kinked. But a strong 6, an 8, a ball carrying 8, who was Dembele for the majority of the time, and then a fluid ball passing 10. And I don't see why these three players couldn't play that system, and I don't see why Gray couldn't play in that 8 role. He can certainly grow into it. Obviously, I'm going to say, he's still, unfortunately, he's young and he's going to make mistakes. We are where we are because I think these are the only three central these are the only three midfielders that we've got, I think, at the moment. So I think they can be effective. I think they absolutely can be effective, these three players. And I'd love to see them play the way that you've just described, Dermot.
Yeah, I would love it too, but I like Archie Gray. I think Archie Gray gets a little bit of a hard rap at Tottenham, but he is a young lad. He has got the talent, but I just feel him and Bergville play well together. And I feel with Bergville out, I just don't know. I think we need Palunia there for the experience. That's what we need, and it's good. Look, the front three, look, Simmons included, right? We saw Simmons the other night. I think you get more out of Simmons on the left than you do as a 10, personally. But do you feel with the front three, with Tell, Richarlison, Odegaard, that's more of a better 3 than it was against Bournemouth away?
I don't want to see Mawani.
No.
I don't want to see Mawani. I'm done. We will have to play him, but I don't want to be starting Mawani unless we absolutely have to. And I like this. Tell and Odegaard, they are a bit up and down. They have a good game, or 2 good games and a bad game. But we have these are the players that we have. So we have to play them. And Tell has been playing all right against Sunderland. He was great actually in that first half. Odegaard is hot and cold, but just keep playing him and keep giving him opportunities, keep encouraging him. And what we really need is for Simmons and Richarlison to develop a relationship, for Simmons to understand what Richarlison's going to do, and for Richarlison to get some confidence that he can make a run and Simmons is going to pass the ball through, because Simmons has got quality. We saw it against Bournemouth. That little, the little back flick, and he does so many of those. And we just need to enable him, and it's enabled by building those relationships with the players around him and them getting them all getting confidence in each other. It's really, really tricky, Dermot. You know, it could go one way or another. And I still believe that there are really good players here. The unfortunate thing is that a lot of them are so inexperienced that we get highs and lows rather than, you know, we get an 8 and then a 5 rather than, you know, a series of sevens.
No, I agree. Look, I think this is the best team. I think this team out tomorrow can do a job. But guys, that is it. That is our predicted lineup. So agree, disagree. Let us know in the comments what you think, guys. And we would love to know. And let us know if you want us to change this a little bit. Is there something different you want us to play? Do you want to see Rain do one by himself? Do a solo predicted lineup? Let us know in the comment section below if you like that. And we're trying to make it, we're going to try to be as fresh and try to keep it as good as we always can be, bring you the best content, which we do. There will be a video out, if not today, I think out already, with our new signing. So you get me and Rain's first reaction to our new left back, the 19-year-old from Brazil, and Susie. Is it Susie? Souza or
Souza?
Souza. So do give that a like as well, guys. But listen, thank you so much indeed for watching. What's your score prediction today, Rain? What are you going for?
2-0 win.
I'm going for a 3-0 win. Villa are going to fall apart. They're going to come out on White Hart Lane, look at the South Stand and go, we don't want to be here. I'm supposed going to run riot. On that bombshell, we will leave it there. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Let's get the 3K as quick as we can. Come on, you Spurs. In Mickey van der Ven, we trust. Eyes on the